This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today, we're going to be trying to get just 4 in a row in a very simple game, as it looks at first. But in addition to that, we're going to be trying to build an economic engine. We're trying to make the money rain as we get some wilds and some payoffs, and we're trying to invest into different spots on the board and have that turn into more money, which allows us to buy more spots on the board to essentially just get 4 in a row. Today we're talking about a game of 49. This is the second edition. I've already reviewed the first edition. This is a new printing with a lot of new things to talk about here, especially the graphic design. This is 2 to 5 players. It takes about a half hour to play, and it's one of the best little new classic games around. Let's take a look. Game of 49 is very simple. First player to get 4 in a row with their color wins. It could be left and right, it could be up and down, or it could be diagonal. It doesn't much matter. As long as you get 4 in a row, you win. With 5 players, you only need 3 in a row. Now everyone starts with $49 because, hey, it's the game of 49. And now the backs of these bills are all the same because your money's going to be kept hidden, and you can hold like this so if people see them, they don't know which bill it is. And yeah, it's paper money, which I usually don't like, but in this game it's kind of fun to watch people look, constantly counting their money under the table. And this tray can get taken out and passed around as well. Now the game is very simple. One player will be the player for this turn. That player will have this token in front of the Game of 49 token. And what they'll do is they'll take one of these off the top and they will mention the number. We are looking for number 8. They will take this token here, with the one with the money symbols and stuff, and they'll put it on number 8. This is the square that's being auctioned off right now. Then, starting with the player who took this up, they will begin auctioning it off. Now some of these cards have a minimum bid which you may want to use. You definitely use it in a 2-player game. Minimum bid of 2. So I could say 2. And the next player either has to raise it by at least 1 or pass. I could say 2. This player can pass. This player says 3. This player says 5. I say 8. This player says 10. This player says 11. Pass, pass. Whoever is the last person, and once you pass, you're out for this specific one. And whoever gets it basically gets to put their chip there, and that's that. This would then pass to the next player, along with this little token, and then they basically just also do this. Oh, 29. So we go like this, and we go here. Oh, it's right next to 8. This is huge because green's really gonna want this. So as it goes around, green's gonna be bidding really high because he's gonna get 2 in a row. He's already gonna be halfway there, and the other people are gonna be fighting for, well, who's gonna take it in the shorts to try to, stop this guy from doing this. Now I fast forward a few rounds now. Now when the card is drawn off top, sometimes it will be a wild, and this is the key to the game. For example, this wild 41 through 48 shows you that you can grab any unoccupied spot. The winner of this will be able to first place their token on any unoccupied spot in this range here. But no matter what, after the wild, regardless of what happens in this card, every single person will get $7 per chip on the board. So let's just say that, let's say orange got this one. And so orange decided to go, here, let's say, for example. Okay, now everyone gets a payout. Red's going to get $7 because they have 1 chip on the board. It doesn't matter where they are, it doesn't matter who they are. After every wild's done, you get $7 per chip. Red's getting $7. Green's getting $7. Blue's getting $14. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're getting $28 for orange. So it's really interesting as you start to run out of money, you're really hoping for one of these cards where if you haven't gotten a lot of chips on the board and you have a lot of money, you want these to be in a dry spell. Now there's different wild cards. There's one for that ring. There's one for the outer ring. There's one for the middle ring. And there's a certain amount of cards of each of these. Essentially one out of every 5th card is going to be a payout statistically. Now there is a special card called the 49. The winner of this, if you win the 49, will get to go in the 49 spot. Now, there's 5 of these cards in the game. If another one comes out later, and if green wins this one again, they can go anywhere on the board, which a lot of times will help them win. If somebody else wins the 49 and someone's here, it's the only spot that someone can get bumped off of the 49. That's very important. The whole game, 4 in a row, and you win. There is a 2-player variant that actually works much better. I've never had a 2-player auction game work this well, where normally you max out. So when you get chips, $7 per chip on the board, you max out at 49. It's the game of 49. So even if you have more than 7 chips on the board, when a wild payout comes and you get it, the most money you're going to get is $49 of the max. Now, that's for everybody all the time. In a 2-player game, it's interesting. As you get 7 chips, you're still going to get 49, but as you get more chips, you're actually going to get less. So you have to be really careful about which ones you get, and it scales the game to a very good 2-player game, shockingly. Now let me show you the difference just between the first edition and second edition. Same size box, the graphic design is the biggest overhaul here. This really jumps off the shelf, has a nice background, the 49 jumps off. Everything I like about this much better, except I really like this catchphrase better. Chips in a row, money under the table, because that's how pretty much everybody holds it, game on the line. Where this is bid, bluff, and buy your way to 4 in a row. Yeah, maybe it's more mass markety this, but this to me is an awesome, awesome tagline. Now the board itself is a little bit bigger, and it does look just a lot nicer. Even though they're just using shades of browns and oranges, it still does look a lot nicer than this. Now the cards, this is a card from the first version. It had a blue ring to help you find that 17 is somewhere on the blue ring here, where this one, say, it actually has the color of it, so you can look at it quickly and also see the color. I think it works just as well. So this, and then the wilds, this one actually showed, this is the orange ring, and you can see the orange ring here, where this one uses, the same colored ring. They're about the same for me. This looks a lot nicer where it has the payoff. This didn't even tell you how much. This actually tells you how much on the card. 7 per chip. You don't really need that once you know how to play the game, but those are the differences in the cards. However, huge improvement in what the money looks like. This looks like the old Monopoly money terribly, and this looks like a much nicer. Granted, paper money's not my favorite, but it does work in this game just fine. The money just looks a lot nicer as well. And finally in the box, this was just a white carton. This one has that nice little game of 49 when you open it up. Again, it does nothing, but it just looks a lot nicer. Look, if you've watched my videos for a while, it's no secret how much I love the game of 49. It first came out in 2014. I had a copy, and then I played it right around BGG Con, and I brought all of my friends and all my media people over to that table to play it at BGG Con, and it really set a lot of buzz around. I was sort of a champion for this game because I loved the simplicity of it, yet how fun it is. It really reminisced and made me feel like I was playing a Sid Sackson designed game, from the grandfather of game design. This game feels like a modern day classic, and in my opinion, it's going to be. So I am very excited about this new edition because the only things that I complained about before were the components and the art. I would have just passed by it, where now it looks a lot better, and that's because they are going into Target stores, 2,000 of them starting on June 18th of this year, and I am so excited about this, seeing this designer from Marquee Games, and Breaking Games is bringing it out now to this distribution level, but Marquee Games, Mark Corsi, the designer, bringing it from sort of his having stacks of these in his living room and in his garage, going into full distribution, going to Target. To see a story like this makes me so happy. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, and especially since I was one of the ones that sort of helped get this game some buzz right off the bat. I'm so excited. I have still played this game so many times with so many different groups, and I've never walked away from a group playing this where everyone didn't have a blast and everyone's like, where can I buy this? It always passes that litmus test. Gamer or non-gamer, I want to play it with grandma, I want to play it with gamers. This game just plays well anywhere. I love the updates to the graphic art. The board looks great. The cards look great. Now it looks like something that jumps off, mass market shelves, and I hope that this happens for this game because it is so fun. So overall, love this game. If you have not played this, it is just amazing how simple the game is, but how awesome it is about that whole tension of, hey, should I spend a bunch of money and get a bunch of stuff out there early, or should I just wait for the right spot? And that is just, it sounds like a simple decision, but it's painstaking, and it's so fun to watch what happens, trying to talk your friends into blocking somebody else so that they have to spend their money. Keeping your money secret. Sure, I hate the paper money, but this one looks better, and it's always fun. The funnest part of the game is when you're sitting there and everyone has their money under the table, and someone bids something, and everyone goes, and everyone just kind of laughs because they're like, they know that they're close to their limit, but they're trying to see how much money they have. Everyone's always laughing when that happens. Simple game, but yet so great. You're waiting for this drought to end. You're like, hey, there has to be a payoff card coming. And if you don't have a lot of chips on the board, you're like, no payout, no payout, no payout. I wanted to get some chips. And if you've got a ton of chips on the board, everyone's rooting for payouts. It's just awesome. Awesome game. One of the best family games. In fact, it was my family game of the year in 2014, and now it's even better. And it's going to be open to much more people. If you haven't played this game, what are you waiting for? Go get Game of 49. And I love it so much. Before, when I reviewed this, I was not doing saxophone serenades, but now it's time with 2nd edition to induct it properly into my gaming library with a saxophone serenade.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.